Good afternoon, 5th of February 2021. Disruption. Crewman A, crewman B. Now, a lot of times I talk about the light and the dark side of utility. And sometimes we could call this utility and inutility. This is one of the defects that we economists or business economists, let's say, that we clarify between utility, which is profit generation, which is the target of each company, of the light side, and as a goal of focus to generate profit to society, employing more and more, and this is a clear target. Now, sometimes we have more or less profit, but we always must have a profit. In order to explain to ship owners the difference between the crewman A and crewman B, we could clearly compare with this light and darkness, because before coronavirus, a lot of digital disruption techniques were not in place. But now, like in this video, we are explaining what is a Lumpsum all included, which is a crewman B, and the crewman A, which is at cost. Now, before, in order to keep the dark cost, including the crew management employer concept, because, for example, we had our dear justice and judges, which are the same as government. It's like 250 countries, each has its own justice labor department, and they all think that they can take care of the HR, human resources on board ships. I'm sorry, that's a no. I mean, this is shipping, this is offshore, and therefore we have our own rules, regulations. So before, they used to try to cover these implications of employer under the crewman B, because then everybody would think that this is not really the employer or is the employer, and then we can justify to these dear judges what things we are doing. Well, a lot of disruption is going on in labor, and then the cost, in order not to be lump sum, we can go to the light side, which is at cost. Why? Because a fee of 4%, 2%, depends on the size of the fleet. We can really justify each of the different invoices, like the travel, the insurance, the contracts, the payrolls, whatever, and the fee. And in the other side, in the lump sum crewman B system, we are including all the different factors, like, for example, the margin. Now, this really is a conflict, because after 2 years, most companies going under crewman B, all inclusive, they will try to pay as less as possible to seafarers and then keep the highest margin to the company. And the crewman company, of course, before coronavirus, this kind of obscure, dark situations were the day-to-day routine. But nowadays, with this digital disruption, we can really clearly explain that this is not the case. That in reality, for example, if I think of a government, I only need health, security, and education. How much does this cost? I put many videos, it's 5%. And if they share different countries, this security, health, and education, probably I could put it down to a 2%. Do I need a council? Do I need a province government? Do I need a canton? Well, yes, but if it costs 0, if it costs €1, I don't need it, thank you. Yeah, you can take it. I appreciate it, thank you. So this is the same situation of the crewman B. A lot of gaps, margins that were put there are around 20, 30%, and then in the medium term, not the short, if you consider the short, just 1 year, but in the medium term, from 1 to 5 years, we could really see that the quality of the crew would decrease, because the interest of the crew manager under the crewman B system is to pay less to seafarers. And of course, the seafarers, you transparently can see today that this is not really a goal and interest. And this is not my interest because I am a fourth generation company since Captain Antonio Candina. Therefore, my interest is to have clients for the very long term. So, the happier the crew are, the lower my fee is, and the most transparent the crew manage in the light side, then of course the owners would be more compliant and happier, because we can unite many things, a lot of things we can unite now between crewman B and crewman A. For example, the cadets. Under crewman B, you could specify that the cadets are in the pool of the crew manager or this big ship manager. Well, if it is in the crewman A, the pool is the pool, and of course it is in the owner's pool. I mean, there's no conflict here. There is a lot of conflicts like ITF fees that the crew manager pays, and that they get some discounts. And if we go into the discount area, well, we can really find out how many discounts have in the crewman B that does not exist in the crewman A. So it's better to be very transparent. Who does get the machine, or should I or not get it? But cost-wise, it's much more interesting to have the crewman A and the light side of the business. Why? Because the maritime industry requires us to be responsible. As responsible partners and united in corporate social responsibility, we must show the world that yes, if we were in charge of the governments, we would charge only 5%. Of course, we are not. But if we are in charge of the shipping crew management worldwide, 60,000 ships, we must show that perhaps the risk factors today, with this digital disruption, we can really control, like the insurance has gone down so much, and therefore we can make sure that our dear owners last much longer and expand much better. And these disruptions of the Justice Department, well, one day they will sign some kind of memorandum stating the code of ethics, code of practice between all the judges in the world, saying we are not going to apply the shore legislation to the seafarers. Why? Because it's not possible. And that way is the crewman A light side of the contract. So I hope that you contact Candina. And also, we are partnering with many other ship owners that are also in the light side. They want to take control of the technical management, because this Lumpsum they have under shipman B as well as shipman A, it is a conflict. There is huge amount of situations which I'm not going to bother, because this is the dark side. So let's focus in the light side. We have plenty ship managers that are very happy to work in the light side. For example, we know that we have competitors in the ship management side, in the dark side, that they get $800 per day fee, but the superintendents get, and they have 3 per ship, $450, so they get a lot of margins from different suppliers, and that is a no situation. And it is very clear that if the industry is very transparent, you can really make it last longer. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Have a very nice weekend. Let's focus in the light side. Thank you. Bye.